Late afternoon, late afternoon show with late afternoon. Yes, with Lily.
Welcome back to the Late Afternoon Show. I'm your host, Liliana Link. Here in New York, we've had tons of snow. The first few days are pretty fun, but as the winter drags on, some may find themselves a little exhausted from all of the cold weather, especially this time of year when we are officially winding down from the holiday season. Or are we? Today's episode will remind you that every day is a reason to celebrate. We will be talking about all the exciting celebrations that happen in the month of February. February is Black History Month. This is the time when we celebrate all of the people who paved the way for equality in the United States, something we continue to work toward to make sure everyone has the chance to achieve their dreams. On February 12th, people around the world will celebrate the Chinese New Year, which marks the beginning of the Lunar New Year. This is the new year based on the calendar that follows the cycles of the moon. It's pretty fascinating. According to the Chinese zodiac, 2021 is the year of the ox. Greeting cards, chocolates, flowers, and hearts all come to mind when I think of February, which is, of course, because of Valentine's Day. Did you know over 1 billion Valentines are sent all over the world each Valentine's Day? It's awesome to remind people how much we love them. I love receiving nice notes from people I care about, and it feels just as good to give them. See, the holidays aren't over, and even if these don't excite you enough to break out of the midwinter blues, just remember that February is the shortest month on the calendar and springtime is on the way. And now I'm really excited to introduce my guest for today. It's Broadway actress Lauren Chardulo. Hi, Lauren. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Hi, Liliana. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
So, you've had a really exciting career as a performer. Did you always want to be a performer?
Well, to be honest, I thought it was going to be too hard, and I thought that people who become professional performers have parents who have done it before. That's what I assumed. So I thought maybe I was going to open a restaurant that had singing and performances in the restaurant. That was kind of my plan. I did go to SUNY Purchase College for a degree in drama studies, and I also took dance there as well as opera while I was there. And it just inspired me to say, once I graduated, let me just try auditioning and see how it goes. So I very much so had the climbing the ladder experience. So when I first graduated school, I auditioned for small, close to home gigs that was at like a nearby theater, and then I slowly kind of worked my way up into auditioning for things that were off Broadway or other regional theaters, and then eventually auditioning for Broadway stuff. So I love the experience that I had because along my way I learned so much about theater. So I think it would have been overwhelming if I graduated college and went right into a Broadway show. I feel like I wouldn't have been ready. So I'm glad that I kind of slowly climbed that ladder of the theater world.
Very cool. So, how did you get started?
Well, my brother always enjoyed theater, and because I was a very, very shy kid growing up, I almost barely spoke in school. My parents thought it would be a good idea for me to start taking voice lessons and dance classes, and it kind of gave me the confidence I needed as a young kid to realize, oh, I am important, I am special, I do have certain talents. I wasn't good at sports, and school was really difficult for me. So going to dance class and going to my theater classes kind of gave me that confidence of, oh, I can work hard in school, and I can raise my hand in class, and I can talk to the other kids. So theater had a huge influence on my whole life, and really made me the person, the adult I am today, and also the teacher that I am today.
Cool. So, what kind of training or school did you do?
Well, I went to let's see, I started dancing at the age of 3. I kind of did just like a cute little recreational, you know, on our tippy toes, wear a little tutu. It wasn't very strenuous. I went maybe once a week to dance, but I just always loved the idea of it. The beautiful costumes that we got to wear, um, and all the tutus was so cute, and I loved anything that was a dance shoe. I just loved it. Um, so I took dance. I did the community theater. So kind of similar to New York All Stars, where you guys kind of do everything. You're learning dance, you're learning singing, you're learning acting, putting on shows. I did something similar to that. So I was very much so just like you guys, in what I was learning. And then after I graduated high school, I always did the school plays also. Graduated high school and went to SUNY Purchase College, where I continued my theater education.
Cool. So my next question is, can you tell us about your first like really big performance?
Oh, yes. Well, the first thing that I did where it was like a job, like I got a paycheck for it, um, was at a regional theater in Yorktown, which is not too far from where you guys are. You might be familiar with the area. So I did a chorus line at Yorktown Stage, and I couldn't believe that they pay you. I thought, oh my goodness, I can pay my cell phone bill all on my own. This is amazing. Because I taught dance classes and things. That was usually my job when I was that age. And that was really exciting. I get paid to do something so fun. I couldn't believe it. So that was like my first thing. And then my first big gig was I got cast in the uh, tour of The Wedding Singer, and I was playing the role of Holly. So it was also a movie, if you've ever heard of that movie, The Wedding Singer. Um, and I was playing a lead role, which was really exciting. So that was like the first big thing. And I just couldn't believe it. I definitely sang the wrong song for the audition. Like it was just not the right style and not the right, I should have went in there with 80s pop music, and I had like a classic musical theater song that I auditioned with. But, it's all part of learning in the process of auditioning and of taking that journey.
Yeah. So my next question is that for the last couple of years, you were a swing in the Broadway production of Disney's Aladdin. What exactly is a swing?
That is an excellent question. A lot of people don't know what a swing is. So basically, there is always at least 2 to 6 swings in every single Broadway show. So basically, our responsibility is to understudy most of the people in the show. Now, some shows break it up where one swing might cover 4 people and the other swing might cover another 4 people. That's kind of how they do it in Hamilton. It's split. But with Aladdin, I covered everyone in the female ensemble, and as well as Jasmine. And I have also even been on for some of the male ensemble. So I've done maybe six tracks in the male ensemble. So of course I didn't know it, because when I joined the show, I learned all the girl tracks. I didn't learn the boy tracks. So I learned them as soon as that person went down and we had no swings left. I learned it during intermission. Can you believe? So in 15 minutes, I learned a boy track and then jumped into Prince Ali and danced whatever he had to do. And that was probably the scariest, but one of the most exciting things I've ever done, probably.
So, what else have you been doing since Broadway shut down?
Well, as you all know, at New York All Stars, I've been getting to choreograph for Beauty and the Beast, which has been so much fun. And I think I've been challenging you guys quite a bit, but you guys are always up for the challenge, and we always go above and beyond what I think we'll be able to cover in each class, which is really fun. And then I've just been teaching. I teach 7 days a week. I have some private voice students. I have a dance class that I do on Wednesdays, and just kind of creating, as I go, any type of theater class that I can kind of come up with. So we do a lot of like musical theater script workshops and things, and it's been really fun.
So, in this week's episode, I've been talking a lot about the exciting things that happen in the month of February, like Valentine's Day and Lunar New Year. But one thing I haven't mentioned yet is the Super Bowl. Maybe that's because for performers like you and me, the Super Bowl of the stage happens in the spring. Do you have any Tony Award predictions?
Ooh, that's a good question. Oh my goodness, there are so many good shows right now. I think that Six is gonna, it might win a lot of things. It's just such a fun show. Um, but I don't know. My favorite part of the Tony Awards is kind of a lot of people are really big on picking who they think will win. I just love watching it, and I just love watching the performances. I think this is cliche to say, but I think everyone's a winner once they once they get to that place of the show opening. So and you know, Broadway is just so amazing at how every year they come up with something more spectacular and more interesting and more culturally relevant, which is really exciting. So I'm just excited to see all the shows really and see some performances.
Yeah, me too. So my last question is, what do you miss most about performing on Broadway, and what do you look forward to? What do you look forward to most when it opens back up?
Let's see. Okay, so what do I miss the most? Honestly, I always say this, but I the best part of working on Broadway is getting to meet the kids at the stage door because a lot of times it's kids like you, Liliana, that love to perform, and then they're getting to see it. You know, the top level of theater performance. They just got to experience it. And they're just so excited, and you know how much they love theater. So I love getting to see the kids after the show at the stage door because that's the even though we've been doing it, you know, thousands and thousands of performances because it's been over 6 years, it's always so fresh for everyone else in the audience. Most people, it's their very first time seeing the show. So it just kind of gives you a lift of life and excitement by seeing someone who just experienced it for the first time. And it reminds you, oh yeah, this is really fun and really cool what we're doing every night. And it's, you know, it's so special for these people having to see it for the first time.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us on a late afternoon show.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. This was wonderful.
Bye.
Bye.
Today, we've talked about a lot of exciting celebrations that happen in February, but it wouldn't be a late afternoon show without at least mentioning some of the worst. Here are the worst national holidays in the month of February. This one could be your worst, depending on how you feel about the weather. Groundhog Day is celebrated on February 2nd, when Americans ditched the science of meteorology and let a rodent predict the forecast. The groundhog did see a shadow, sealing our fate with another 6 weeks of winter. February 11th is Don't Cry Over Spilled Milk Day. I mean, I get the idea behind this. You don't need to get worked up over a little problem you can easily clean up. But have you actually spilled milk on something like carpet or furniture? As the big sister of a toddler, I can assure you that spilled milk can actually be really gross. What if the milk spills on your favorite device and ruins it? What if your little sister spills milk behind your behind your bed and you don't realize it until you wake up in the middle of the night to that horrible smell of curdled milk? I say, depending on where and how much, you may be completely within your right to shed a few tears over rancid dairy. February 9th is National Toothache Day. I'm not really sure why anyone would want to celebrate this holiday, but maybe it serves as a good reminder of the importance of dental health. Public Sleeping Day. Apparently, on February 28th, falling asleep in public is perfectly acceptable, except where laws prohibit loitering and, well, sleeping in public. I don't know about you, but I would skip this one if possible. And coming in at number 1, February 1st is National Sicky Day. I couldn't imagine a holiday to celebrate being sick, but the story behind this one is that February 1st is actually the day when most people call out of school or work sick. It seems like around this time, people are getting tired from winter and wallowing in their post-holiday blues. It's almost like they forgot about all the wonderful holidays we have in February. Well, that's our show. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye!